Tonight, when the sun goes down, you're going to flip a switch. Light will flood the room and you won't think twice about it. But for 99.9% of human history, that switch didn't exist. When the sun set, the world went dark. And something ancient inside you still remembers what that meant. You still feel it sometimes. Walking through a dark parking lot, standing in a hallway after the lights go out, your heart rate climbs, your ears sharpen, your eyes strain to catch movement in the shadows. You tell yourself there's nothing there. Your body doesn't believe you. Why does a fully modern human, surrounded by concrete and streetlights, still react like there's a predator in the dark? The answer starts almost 2 million years ago on the grasslands of East Africa. Your ancestors were not the strongest animals on the savanna. They weren't the fastest either. They had no claws, no fangs, no thick hide. What they had was daylight vision, group cooperation, and fire. And at night, all three of those advantages disappeared. Anthropologist Sarah Blaffer H. Hurdy has argued that early human survival depended heavily on constant vigilance against predation, especially during vulnerable periods like sleep. Big cats hunted at night. Hyenas hunted at night. Early humans, by contrast, had poor night vision compared to nearly every predator stalking them. Darkness wasn't just inconvenient, it was the single most dangerous part of every single day. So, evolution did what it always does. It built a warning system. A part of your brain called the amygdala began treating darkness itself as a threat signal. Not because darkness is inherently dangerous, but because for millions of years it reliably predicted danger. Fear of the dark isn't irrational, it's a memory. It's just a memory older than language, older than fire, older than your species' name for itself. Here's where it gets stranger. This fear didn't fade when humans tamed fire around 400,000 years ago. It didn't fade when they built walls or cities or electric grids. Psychologist David Rakison has studied how children develop fear responses to ancestral threats like darkness and certain animal shapes far faster and stronger than they develop fear of modern dangers like electrical outlets or moving cars, even though cars are statistically far more likely to kill them. Your brain isn't calibrated to the world you live in, it's calibrated to the world your ancestors survived.
Think about that for a second. A toddler who has never once been near a lion will still cry at a dark room before they cry at a busy road. Why? Because natural selection doesn't update in real time. It updates over hundreds of thousands of years. Your nervous system is running ancient software on modern hardware, and nobody sent the update. There's a term researchers use for this: evolutionary mismatch. It's the idea that many of your instincts were shaped for an environment that no longer exists. Sugar cravings evolved when calories were scarce. Anxiety around social rejection evolved when being cast out of the tribe meant death. And fear of the dark evolved when night genuinely meant predators, cold, and disorientation, with no way to see them coming. They're smoke detectors. A smoke detector that goes off when you burn toast is annoying, but a smoke detector that fails to go off during an actual fire is fatal. Evolution builds systems that would rather overreact 1,000 times than underreact once. Your fear of the dark is a smoke detector. It's just going off in a house that most nights isn't actually on fire. This is why the fear doesn't fully disappear even when you know, logically, that you're safe. Knowing and feeling run through different systems in your brain. You can know a hallway is empty. Your amygdala doesn't care what you know. It cares what it can see. And in darkness, it can't see anything, which means, as far as that ancient part of your brain is concerned, anything could be there. Notice what you do the next time the lights go out. Notice the specific things your body does without asking your permission. The stillness, the listening, the way your eyes keep scanning even when there's nothing to scan for. That's not weakness. That's not being irrational. That is roughly 2 million years of survival strategy compressed into a single nervous system, still doing its job long after the job description changed. Modern life has mostly solved the problem darkness used to represent. Streetlights, locks, phones with flashlights built in. But your biology hasn't read the news. It's still running the oldest program it has, the one written by every ancestor who didn't get eaten in the dark and lived long enough to pass that caution down to you. So tonight, when the sun goes down, you'll probably still flip that switch without thinking twice. But now you'll know what's really happening underneath that simple gesture. You're not just turning on a light, you're quieting a warning system that has been running faithfully, without interruption, for longer than history itself.